Unsteady on your feet, feeling like the room is slightly spinning, or like you might lose your balance for no clear reason? What if I told you this could be your body's last warning sign before something much more serious, like a stroke? Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could genuinely save a life, maybe even your own. Have you ever stood up and suddenly felt off balance? Maybe you brushed it off as tiredness, dehydration, or just one of those days. That's exactly what most people do, but here's the problem. Your body doesn't send random signals. When something feels wrong, especially with your balance, it can be your brain quietly asking for help. A stroke doesn't always arrive with dramatic symptoms. It doesn't always mean sudden collapse or slurred speech right away. Sometimes it begins with subtle signs, easy to ignore, easy to dismiss, and dangerously easy to miss. Let's talk about why balance matters so much. Your ability to stand, walk, and stay steady depends on a delicate system inside your body. Your brain, your inner ear, your nerves, and your muscles all work together like a perfectly coordinated team. When even one part of that system is affected, especially the brain, it can throw everything off. Now imagine this. If the blood flow to certain parts of your brain is reduced or blocked, even for a short time, your balance can suddenly feel off. That's because the brain areas responsible for coordination aren't getting the oxygen they need. This can happen during what doctors call a mini stroke or transient ischemic attack. It may only last a few minutes, but here's the scary part. Many people ignore it, thinking it's harmless, until a major stroke follows. Let me paint a real-life scenario. A man in his early 60s wakes up feeling fine. He goes to the kitchen but notices he's slightly unsteady. He holds onto the counter, laughs it off, and blames it on not having his morning coffee. Later that day, the dizziness comes back stronger. Still, he ignores it. 2 days later, he suffers a major stroke. This is more common than you think. Unsteadiness or sudden balance issues can be one of the earliest neurological warning signs. And unlike common dizziness caused by dehydration or standing up too fast, this kind of imbalance often feels unusual, like your body just isn't responding the way it should. So how do you tell the difference? Pay attention to how it feels. If your unsteadiness is sudden, unexplained, and especially if it comes with other subtle symptoms like a mild headache, blurred vision, confusion, or difficulty walking in a straight line, you should not ignore it. Another key sign is if the feeling doesn't go away quickly or keeps coming back. Your body is incredibly smart. It sends signals long before something serious happens. The problem is we've trained ourselves to ignore them. Now here's something important you need to understand. Not all strokes happen suddenly. Some build up over time. Reduced blood flow, small clots, or narrowing arteries can slowly affect brain function. During this phase, your body may give you warning signs like balance problems, lightheadedness, or even brief episodes of weakness. Think of it like a warning alarm going off, but very quietly. If you catch it early, you have a chance to prevent something life-threatening. This is why awareness matters so much. In fact, studies show that many people who experience a stroke had warning signs days or even weeks before it happened, but they didn't recognize them. And balance issues are one of the most overlooked symptoms. Let's talk about who is at higher risk. If you are over 50, have high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, or a history of smoking, your risk is significantly higher. Even stress and lack of physical activity can contribute. But here's the truth, strokes don't only happen to older adults anymore. More and more younger people are experiencing them too, often due to lifestyle factors. That's why it's so important to listen to your body no matter your age. Now I want you to take a quick moment and ask yourself honestly, have you recently felt unsteady without a clear reason? Have you had moments where walking felt slightly difficult or unusual? Have you experienced dizziness that didn't feel normal? If the answer is yes, don't panic, but don't ignore it either. It's always better to check and be safe than to regret waiting. And while we're here, make sure to subscribe to Dr. Waterling Hub for more health updates like this, because the more you know, the better you can protect yourself and your loved ones. Let's continue. Another thing people often miss is how quickly stroke symptoms can progress. One moment, it's just a little imbalance. The next, it could be weakness on one side of the body, trouble speaking, or even loss of coordination. That's why timing is critical. There's a well-known phrase in medicine, time is brain. Every minute a stroke goes untreated, brain cells begin to die. But if you act fast, treatment can prevent serious damage. So if you or someone around you suddenly becomes unsteady, especially if it's paired with other symptoms, don't wait. Seek medical help immediately. Even if it turns out to be nothing serious, you've done the right thing. Now let's talk about prevention, because this is where you have control. Taking care of your heart health is one of the most powerful ways to reduce your stroke risk. That means keeping your blood pressure in check, managing your blood sugar, staying active, and eating a balanced diet. Hydration also plays a role. Dehydration can make dizziness worse, but more importantly, it can affect circulation. Regular checkups are key. Many risk factors don't show obvious symptoms until it's too late. And don't underestimate sleep. Poor sleep quality has been linked to higher stroke risk. Small daily habits can make a huge difference over time. And remember, this content is for educational purposes only and not medical advice. If you're experiencing symptoms, always consult a qualified healthcare professional. Let's bring this all together. Your body whispers before it screams. Unsteadiness, imbalance, or unexplained dizziness might seem small, but they could be your brain's early warning signal. Ignoring it doesn't make it go away. It only delays the moment you take action. And when it comes to stroke, delay can be dangerous. So listen to your body, take those signs seriously, and never hesitate to get checked. Because sometimes that slight wobble, that moment of imbalance, could be the difference between prevention and emergency. If you found this information helpful, make sure to subscribe to Dr. Waterling Hub and share this video with someone who might need it. You never know, it could save a life. Stay aware, stay healthy. And before you go, I want to leave you with something that most people never hear but absolutely should. Sometimes the warning signs don't come as a single dramatic moment. They come as patterns, small repeated signals that your body keeps sending, hoping you'll finally pay attention. Maybe it's that slight wobble you feel every morning when you get out of bed. Maybe it's that strange drifting sensation when you walk down a hallway. Or that moment where you feel like you might tip over, but you catch yourself just in time. Individually, these moments feel harmless, but together they can tell a story. Your brain depends on a constant, steady flow of oxygen-rich blood. Even a brief interruption, even for a few seconds, can affect how your body moves and reacts. And one of the first systems to be affected is your balance. That's why these symptoms can come and go. One minute you're fine, the next something feels off, then it disappears again. This on and off pattern is exactly why so many people delay getting help. They think if it went away, it must not be serious. But in reality, that temporary improvement can be the most dangerous part because it creates a false sense of safety. Now here's something important that many people overlook. Balance problems linked to serious conditions often don't feel like typical dizziness. It's not always a spinning sensation. Sometimes it feels more like a sudden heaviness in your body, slight pull to one side when you walk, a feeling that your legs aren't responding properly, or like you're walking on an uneven surface even when you're not. These are subtle, but they matter. And here's where it becomes even more critical. If unsteadiness is combined with even one of the following symptoms, you should treat it as an emergency. A sudden headache that feels unusual, trouble seeing clearly, or double vision. Difficulty speaking or finding words, numbness or weakness, especially on one side of the body, confusion or trouble understanding simple things. Even if these symptoms last only a few minutes, don't wait for them to come back. Don't wait for them to get worse. Act immediately. Because when it comes to a stroke, early action can be the difference between a full recovery and permanent damage. Let me share another quick story. A woman in her 50s noticed she kept bumping into things on her right side. She thought she was just being clumsy. Over the next week, she also felt slightly off balance when walking. Still, she ignored it. One morning, she woke up unable to move her right arm. That was the moment everything changed. But by then, valuable time had already been lost. This is why awareness is power. Now let's talk about something you can do right now. There's a simple awareness check you can remember easily. Think of it like a quick mental checklist when something feels off. Ask yourself, is this feeling new? Is it unusual for me? Is it happening suddenly? If the answer is yes to any of these, take it seriously. You don't need to diagnose yourself. You just need to recognize that something isn't right. And that's enough to take action. Also, pay attention to your environment and daily habits. Are you sitting for long periods without movement? Are you skipping meals or not drinking enough water? Are you under constant stress? All of these can quietly increase your risk over time. Your lifestyle either protects your brain or puts it under pressure. And the good news is, small changes can have a big impact. A short daily walk, choosing healthier foods, managing stress, getting enough sleep, these aren't complicated steps, but they are powerful ones. And most importantly, don't ignore regular health checkups. Conditions like high blood pressure or high cholesterol often have no symptoms until they lead to something serious. Catching them early gives you control. Now, let's bring it back to the main message. Unsteadiness is not just feeling a little off. It can be your body's early warning system. And when your body warns you, it's not trying to scare you, it's trying to protect you. The question is, are you listening? Because the people who take these signs seriously are often the ones who avoid the worst outcomes. They're the ones who catch problems early. They're the ones who get help in time. They're the ones who give themselves a second chance. And you deserve that too. So from this moment on, promise yourself something simple. Don't ignore what your body is trying to tell you. If something feels off, pause, pay attention, and take action. Because your health is not something to gamble with. And before we wrap up, if this video gave you even one valuable insight, make sure to subscribe to Dr. Waterling Hub and turn on notifications. We're here to help you stay informed, aware, and in control of your health. Share this video with your family and friends, especially those who might brush off these early warning signs. It could truly make a difference. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of your body, listen to its signals, and remember, sometimes the smallest signs carry the biggest warnings. Stay safe, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next video.